Do you intend to play it ever again? Or?
I have no idea. I like it's in there. I was like I play with you guys, but since I haven't been around playing with you guys, it's like don't know. Because the thing is, if I do want to play it again, I definitely don't want to have to go back through the process of reinstalling it.
Yeah, well, it is a pretty big game, and it's only getting bigger.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Okay, I'm checking these orbs before I do jump into Hades'
You're
gate.
correct. Yeah, it's spheres, but I mean orbs, spheres is not much of a difference.
Technicalities aside, check the orb grid. I'm glad you were happy because we haven't done this in a while. I can tell you're getting a lot of your animosity out now.
Animosity? I don't like animals. No.
Wow, really? Are you drunk?
No, but I am feeling tired already.
How you
Good thing
woke
I
up
only
like
have to.
5 hours ago?
Wait, what? No, I didn't cook dinner. I've been up since 2 p.m. Wow, really? No, that's terrible.
What?
That I've only been awake for 7 hours and I'm tired already.
That's my job. I was at Target today. uh,
Goku,
Goku. Wait, what?
your desktop background.
That's not Goku. That's Krillin. I bet you to update my
Oh, what?
backgrounds at some point. I know Dragon Ball Z. Tomato.
Oh, that looks cool.
What?
Your desktop background. Uh,
Okay. Wait a
so
minute. What this?
online Pokemon TCG. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I haven't gotten around to. I intended to play some when I got back, but my password, because be more specific. The reason why I'm like getting this anyway is because last Saturday I was in GameStop and I was just looking around, and every time I walk up in there, because I don't really buy anything lately, I go buy the TCG cards and they keep pulling my interest. Like maybe I should get back into that. So I bought this one of the newer decks that came out to get the
Mm-hmm.
codes to be able to go through the TCG online, and lo and behold, I went to go test it out and see what's going on, and password doesn't seem to work. So I gotta go through all that. I gotta go through some. I reset my password, so maybe I'm gonna give it a day to see if it takes a while for it to get connected to there.
I know what you mean.
So it's just one of those things where like I am very trying to see something. Wait a minute. Okay, Waka doesn't have anything that increases orbs. So let me.
You should have him use aim before you switch him out, because you want everybody to get sphere levels, and this is an easy way for him to have done something to gain ability points.
Use it on you. So she's gonna be attacking you anyway. Oh, I think he's gonna die immediately from that.
No, that's how low leveled you are. And you don't actually want to do that. That alters the spheres it's going to drop, not makes it drop more.
I mean, am I gonna need power spheres? I mean, like, what's the drop rate on each
Oh,
sphere
that's
anyway?
true. Well, okay, so you were probably going to get power spheres from that anyway. So power spheres, magic spheres, and speed spheres from the back to the front. Oh, jeez.
So I heard you got like 300 and some odd dollars from the diaper party. I might be wrong with that number actually. I don't really. I just saw the
It
number and I
ended up
forgot.
being 155.
It ended up being.
Well, it got turned into Canadian and then back into American.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's stupid. So essentially, what appeared to be a high number was only really Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
That's
It's all
stupid.
right though. I mean, it's still helping. I mean, we're gonna get
I mean, it'll
us.
buy you a first set of diapers for the baby, but probably that probably lasts you a month.
Well, we're getting some reusable and some disposable,
Well, that makes sense.
and we're getting a stroller with it.
So you said the speed spears will come from a wolf, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to extract speed then. Okay. What the? Wow. Why not?
You forgot to get experience for Yuna and Riku.
Well, that blows. 2 power spears. Look at me at this for a while. Oh boy.
It's the AP you want.
Well, I'm about to say the time that I want to run into it, random encounter. Hello there, flying ice ball. Who's okay? Titus. There's a wolf on the field. Let. Of course.
I don't know if you've noticed the theme yet, but there's a specific type of enemy that each party member fights. They tend to use these same enemy types all the way through the game. There are some exceptions to the rule, and you'll come across those. Not quite yet, though. I mean, other than bosses, of course. Jeez. Shouldn't have made fun of that flying enemy.
It was a flying ice ball, and I haven't been out here. I haven't been at this in a while. Oh, that's right. I can revive a Luna. Yuna. Say Yuna. There's a Y in that name, not an L. Sorry, I tend to do that.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yuna doesn't.
Cloister,
I.
which makes this an even more awkward grind session. I should have told you to do this sooner.
No, you have been. I just been obstinate.
It's true. I have tried to get you to do it. I mean, you saw what Seymour was like with his auto posting.
I mean, I saw last time I played this. I could beat him, but it's like one of those things. Like you see you can. You probably shouldn't.
You can feel that it's at the point where just because you can beat him doesn't mean you'll be able to beat the next boss. At least that's what I'm assuming anyway.
I'm not gonna regret bringing Riku in here, but at least she'll get some points, some orbs. What I give?
Points. What?
What I steal from you ain't gonna be worth it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Did I just take Arctic Wind?
Yes.
Did I just reach into its throat and take out its breath?
Yes. So I'm gonna suggest with this grind, after this battle is over, that you stay closer to the entrance of the temple so you can save and heal after more efficiently.
Don't know why I'm doing this, but why not? I'm gonna drain you. I probably should have healed him. Now I'm thinking. Yep, should have healed him. Getting you out of dodge. Actually, hold up. Do have a Mega Phoenix. You'll get
more later. Just don't go crazy on it.
Oh, I got a Phoenix down there, mine. Hold up.
Okay.
I'm gonna because I don't have to worry about the flying eyeball right now.
That's true. It seems to be the biggest problem. Well, that and Blizzara.
Oh, of course, attack the guy who just came back to life. Okay, that's it. You know.
Do it. Kill him before you bring anybody else. Jerk plan.
That was the dude. I was just like, yeah, I'm getting you out of here.
Still haven't got the full time over at the second job yet.
From what I understand, I'm still like on probation, and they'll talk to me after it's over, which ends, if my calculations are correct, in September, like the end of September. So they'll go over everything. They'll go over everything, and if it's necessary for another full time employee down there, I might get it. I don't really know yet.
I hope you do. That's about the time that Luna is too, ironically enough.
I mean, it's either that or I can just go look through their IT division, which is still a plan regardless of full time or not full time. The biggest problem is saving up enough money to get a car so I can go, because I gotta go to Baltimore because that's where their company is located, like their headquarters.
Oh, jeez.
So that's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to deal with.
Indeed.
Okay, buddy, I have tied it. No, well, you know what? You can do more damage to me than you already have. I say that and it attacks me. Never mind.
So I think Lulu should be the centerpiece of your battle. You got me to say Luna instead of Yuna. I hope you're proud.
I'm not proud at all, actually, because I need to. It's just a constant reminder that I think my brain's still on fast forward playing through Mega Man Star Wars 2, which I need to get back to. Because I think you do want to see more of that game, and I apologize for not getting back to that anytime soon. Hopefully, since like next week is going to be more of an opportune time to stream,
Mm-hmm.
I might try it at one point during the week. And because I am afraid,
I
flee!
agree. This is a good decision. I approve of your tactical genius in this situation.
I play RPGs, it's just don't make the best decisions.
Oh no. Oh no. Wait, he still gets preemptive? Lol.
I'm mad that his special is flee. It should just be flee automatically.
Hmm.
I get that it's like it's not just him fleeing, it's everybody else fleeing, but really?
Yeah. The encounter rate here is kind of wacky.
I like how Waka's like got noodle leg.
He does, indeed.
It looks like it's the leg that he kicks with too.
Makes sense. The swimming leg. It's funny to talk about, but actually, even though I'm a left-handed person, I tend to kick more with my right when I'm swimming. Yeah, I know. I know.
I mean, I'm processing that and still having a hard time process that.
It's not something I could just explain, but then again, I have more hours swimming than the average person does. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense that I developed a favoritism for one side over the other. It's probably because I'm reaching forward with my left arm almost all the time, so it's like I'm pushing with the opposite limb. You know what I'm trying to say, I think.
You're using the opposite leg because you're using the opposite arm.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Don't forget you gotta do a thing though. There. He really didn't like that wolf.
Yeah, I can tell. I was surprised he actually hit that flying enemy. Man, he really does not like Waka.
Yeah, no. Overdrives have a higher chance of hitting for whatever reason.
Haha. Balls to the face. Don't quote that.
If someone is in chat, they should totally clip that, but I'm not quoting nothing. That fair? I hope that's fair.
Uh, I tried playing more Sigma the week. I just couldn't get it to work.
I'm not surprised. It takes a bit to get used to, and you are trying to Hado, right? Like,
Yeah, I managed to get the Hado on second stage, and I got that on a VOD, which I was really proud of.
uh huh.
But just trying to get through the final stage, like that's where the problems are gonna lie. I mean, I still gotta worry about the timing of the Hado on the second stage because I
Mm-hmm.
I literally have like got the wolf down pat because I now notice I have now, like well I noticed this when I was playing when you were there. There's a frame in which he'll jump over you on the wall and jump over you again for whatever reason, and that's time
Yeah.
enough to hit him with the Hadouken. However, Sigma doesn't allow that unless you get him like right as soon as he like I don't know how I did it, but I definitely did the whole like before the frame in which he had full health was at.
Okay, so there's another way you can do the Hado on Sig than what I normally do if I miss it the first time. I would try and go up the wall and jump over him, but instead go up the wall and wait till he comes back down, and before he touches the ground, shoot your Hado. So you want to be coming back down before he's coming back down, basically. And if you're on the ground, he will run into the Hado trying to touch the ground.
I
Yeah,
think I know what you're talking about in terms of like he'll. I noticed it too. Apparently, like you can control him when you're on the wall, which is really weird. I noticed like, he likes jumping on the wall when you're on it. It's like okay, uh, who do I get? Oh, Titus. I'm going to.
and as for Wolf Sig, you're just gonna have to get used to it. There's nothing I can say because nobody helped me get better at Wolf Sig. I sat there and practiced him for
No,
months.
it's not that I'm complaining that I'm bad at it. It's just one of those things where it was like when I got to him, I was like, I know the tanks are gonna help me. There's not like the tanks are definitely not a risk, like, as you were saying. Like the tanks were definitely not a risk. Like I'm glad that I have like tanks just to even be able to
Yeah,
take a full burn of those attacks, but I still gotta be still gotta be meticulous about like around running when he's attacking with his hands.
yeah. Well, and you'll get to a point if you stick with it that you'll be like, why was I ever using E-tanks? I understand everything that's going on here, and you can hit me a bunch of times, and I can still win. You'll get to that point. I think so, anyway. You seem to have interest in the game enough to, anyway. It's tough though. I don't feel like you've played Mega Man as much as I did when I was a kid. I played a lot of Mega Man 4, although I cheated to get good at it. Um, I didn't just start playing Mega Man out of the blue, and I feel like that's kind of what's happened with you. Is you also
I
hit
mean no,
the
like I play like the I have experience with platforming Mega Man. It's just more like the ZX series, which is just an offshoot.
Mhm.
It's an
Yeah,
offshoot of X and Zero. It's essentially a future in which their souls, which this is what I'm considering, is that our souls have been put into living organic material. Well, not organic material,
hmm,
bioorganic. Well, not bioorganic because that's still metal
I get
pieces
you.
of them beings have been separated mostly from Zero's universe, but X is there, and which is weird because, like I said before, I've said this before in terms of like I was complaining about X's Buster because I don't feel unstoppable with it, but it's mainly because with the way ZX works, that you can dash and slash at the same time, and you go right through an enemy when you cut them in half. And it makes going through a level like that much easier because I just like the blade so much. I get understanding and appreciation for the Buster because it does make the game a little harder, but it's like I wish I can just get through the level pretty quickly.
I would love to play like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance style. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance style through like Mega Man X. That would make me feel so good, but I don't know.
I mean,
I
get a
don't know.
DS emulator and see if you can find the ZX Mega Man ZX and give it a try. It is essentially, I mean, all it really is just like X dies and so does Zero. Well, Zero's already died in this timeline, but he comes back because Mega Man Zero. But there's a whole story in there. Mainly, it's just like what I took it as like you can play as a male or female character, and they both have control You both can play. You can play as both of them, and they all have all the forms.
Oh, cool.
They're like
Well,
canonically, they both exist at the same time, which is weird. But canonically is what I meant to say.
that's all right. I knew what you meant. That sounds interesting. I'll have to give it a try at some point.
I loved it. I mean, like when I played that a lot in high school. So I get the whole like jumping and shooting mechanic. I didn't do a lot of that because
Right. Well,
I
you had
even
the
play.
option not to, so I can understand.
Yeah, but I even played X back in the day, but I sucked at it worse than I play than I am now.
That's kind of funny, actually. I'm better at Mega Man than I was when I was a kid, that's for sure. But then again, I didn't have the patience. Like, I just wanted to get to the end of the game. Because, like, I could do that in, like, Mario. Oh, I warped all the way to the end of the game. I'm terrible at it. Well, what do I do now? Let's put another game in. I was kind of spoiled because I had a huge library of NES games, so it was like, it didn't matter if I was good or bad at them. Kind of weird.
I mean, you had games you want to play besides that one. Oh, I thought
That's
I forgot that I. Well, I don't know where that mentality of that I can smash the A button over and over again came from. It literally started taking over. I just,
what RPG were you thinking you were playing? Is my question.
that's what I'm trying to figure out where that mentality come from. Because the only mentality I can think that came from is the Tales of series, but I haven't played that in a while. So it's one of those things where like, where did that question mark? Where did that come from?
That's how muscle memory is sometimes. You don't understand where it's coming from, but there it is, telling you what to do, and you're like, wait, that's not the right muscle memory.
Need to get around to playing more of those. I got Tales of Berseria thanks to the Humble Bundle. I need to play that.
I don't know, I kind of tuned out. My favorite was Legendia, or Legendia, whatever it's called. And I liked Symphonia.
I have Symphonia on Steam, but for whatever reason, and it's like it was this problem when I even had a bad computer when I was trying to emulate it. It would lag or whatever. I got this
Mm-hmm.
good computer, but for whatever reason, I guess the game ain't optimized for whatever I have in here. Well, for what I have in here, so it's one of those things like the game is an optimized. Like I almost feel like as much as people love the Tales of Symphonia games, they really need to remaster them and give them like a whole new look, like they did with Tales of Abyss on the 3DS.
That'd be kind of cool. Is that Stain?
No,
Is that Saga?
That's Midoriya.
Okay, I thought it might be, but
Yeah, that's
I
Midoriya.
saw the red, like the red scarf looking thing
Yeah,
on him, and I was like, wait, what?
I don't think I made this folder for this like when Stain was out.
Oh, okay.
Now you brought it. I need to actually put Stain in there. Yeah, I need to rework my
Oh,
I
see,
need to rework my folder.
that's funny. It's ironic to me because I don't like Stain, but I kind of liked his ideology because it did seem like at that point in that world there were just a lot of meh heroes who really shouldn't have been their own hero faction.
I like Stain. I didn't. His ideology is like hit or miss for me sometimes, depending on the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when I understand what gave birth to him. I understand where he was coming from, and his background made that even more interesting. And pretty much what it did to the villains in the long run. So I was like, I understood everything. Like, I like him more for the fact that this was another example of a hero who technically had a useless quirk and a very situational quirk, but he was still really dangerous.
Hmm.
I
I
shouldn't
think
say
he was
hero,
good
but a
at
person.
fighting. Yeah, he got really good at fighting, and then all of a sudden his quirk was useful.
Well, he had to inflict wounds to be able to get the blood.
Yeah, which isn't very hero-esque to begin with. Kind of like Shinzo's mind control. Hmm.
I over I hit the dog with the ball. I didn't mean to do that. I heard apparently there's an arc coming up with Shinzo, which I'm very happy about.
Yes, and I'm scared shitless.
I really need to get
I,
to that. They really need to get around to reading.
I for some odd reason I expect the villains to try and capture him.
They probably will. He's just a sample. He's an example of another guy with a quirk that would be better suited for evil work versus doing good. But his quirk is useful in the sense of like it's not essentially. If I take the Incredibles for instance, if he existed in the Incredibles, he would probably be the best hero in that entire movie because villains monologue like crazy. All you have to do is talk
Yeah,
to him, and you're essentially screwed.
I
So
know. I know.
I love the idea behind this quirk. I was like, that'd be really useful.
It would be, and I could see how it'd be easy for him to be evil, but he intends to be good, just like fucking Bakugo does. And yeah, I gotta say it like that, because he's like the most confusing hero you'll ever meet.
I think Bakugo is more like an anti-hero to me. I like him, and I already like I was well aware of his changing in character way before it happened in the anime because I remember doing a lot of research and finding out that he's supposed to calm down at some point. But I wasn't expecting, at least in the anime, I wasn't expecting him to calm down as fast as he did. It was like one of those things where like I wasn't expecting. He's still Bakugo, but you know he's not as much of a problem child anymore.
He still, to a degree, is like that, and it's his character, and I get it. But it's like his mom said. I can't remember exactly what she said. If
I mean,
if he
her
was
idea was
educated.
it wasn't really him being ignorant. It was the people around him. He got praised
Yeah,
ever since he was 4 years old because of how quirky. I mean, you saw that. You saw that in the anime. They did a good job of showing like what Bakugo's upbringing was like. You know, he was praised all the dang time. Like you have a great quirk. You can do anything. And as kids normally do, they absorb every single thing that they hear, and that's exactly what happened with him. His
hmm
attitude was molded around the idea that he was better than everybody. Then he got into high school and realized there are people who are just as good or probably even better than him.
and that gave him his inferiority complex.
Well, mostly Midori gave that to him.
Yeah, well, Midoriya could do the one thing he couldn't, and that was show that he cared about other people other than himself, because people were busy fawning over his quirk. There was no real, there was no way for him to connect with people beyond that. I still think to this day he is afraid of Midoriya's capability to care about other people.
Well,
Makes
Walker,
no.
I know you're mad at Titus here, but please, I forgot what you're mad about. But please, I honestly, and sometimes I still kind of blame a little bit of Bakugo on Deku. Like, especially with the way like how the way Deku interacts with him, and it causes him to react in a way that he doesn't seem to get. And it's like
Mhm.
you know this guy for a while, and I blame you for a lot of the problems he's having too. Uh, to a certain extent, he's kind of responsible. And Titus is asleep.
Waka's still confused, but Titus is in zero damage. Really nice. That was an elemental defense on his armor.
Must have been. I am going to see about getting rid of you.
Damn it.
I'm just waiting. Like, I mean, honestly, I can't wait to see a lot of these characters and and Prime and when they're 25 years old. Honestly, right now I'm a little bit worried about Uraraka, and you probably know a little bit more about her development in the story than I do. Where they have her right now, I'm a little bit worried because they kind of relegated her to love interest. It looks like she's given up, well, not giving up, but she's gonna push those feelings back, which is something worrisome for me as well because a lot of times feelings like that typically boil up and become a problem later on.
And the thing is I don't think that. I mean, it's fine that she's interested in him, right? Like, they're teenagers. That's gonna happen. But I think pushing it down is gonna make it worse for her.
So as far as I can tell, like they haven't even gone past that whole she's gonna push her feelings down thing in the manga yet.
It hasn't been discussed again. No.
Oh, great. This is not gonna be good.
No,
I like
because
her. I like
something's
her
gonna
so much. I like her so much, and I really don't want her. I really don't want her to turn into useless female lead because she's going there.
I don't think she's going to. I mean, she picked up hand-to-hand fighting because of Deku.
Yeah, but that's still like if they don't do anything with her, that was completely pointless. It's like kind of what I'm getting at. It's like a lot of female characters go down this route where they're interesting when they first get introduced, and then for whatever reason, I think this has something to do with just Japanese people and the way they display women in their in animation period. But it's just one of those things like they did such a good job with her up to this point. Why? What's happening? Why? Why?
Something's gonna happen to one or the other, and she's going to have to admit her feelings, and then everyone's going to have to deal with it. That's where that's going. He's written it into a corner, and I don't think he wants to deal with it.
I don't think he's really written in the corner. He's like, I'm hoping what's happening is that he's got a plan for this particular thing because like it's the only pairing that he's actually explicitly dealt with physically within the series. Because there's other pairings that he's put into motion that I don't know if he realized he's done it. One of those pairings, Todoroki and Momo, that's gonna come up at some point because it took her being paired up with Todoroki to get her self confidence back. Uh,
That's gonna have some kind of effect on how they interact. Yes. I'm trying to think of other characters that they've done that with, and there really aren't any that.
I feel like it's gotta be, and I'm just not thinking about it. Todoroki and Momo are for whatever reason the ones that stick out to me. It's just because of how they interacted during the test and whatnot. I was thinking Mineta, but I don't think he's interacted with any girl. At least what I'm gonna say here is like the nicest thing I'm probably gonna say about Mineta since he's been in the series. He hasn't interacted with a girl in a way that I would say that's kind of gonna foster a relationship. At least not yet.
I don't think he knows how to have a healthy interaction with a female. Period.
I think it's healthy for him. No. Wait, no. Let me take that back and say what I'm expecting to happen with him. We already know about rated R heroes in this world because Midnight's one of them.
Yeah.
I expect he's gonna go down that route. We're gonna have we're gonna have a rated R male hero, which I don't want to see, but clearly.
I hope that doesn't mean he's just gonna hang out with it all out.
Oh no! Please no! I started this. I don't like this at all.
I mean, it's gonna keep the villains at bay to a certain degree.
Well, I mean, if you got villains like that Camila girl, whatever her name was, that was all over Deku.
Toga.
Well, I forgot about her, but the other chick, the hero girl from the other class during the provisional.
Oh crap!
The girl that was naked at one point in time when she was pretending to be Uraraka.
Spoiled that for you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Wait,
You
no.
don't know what her quirk is yet. I'm not gonna reveal that.
What the?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my brain.
Toga is the creepiest character in the whole damn series so far.
I should have known it was her, but I thought something was up with her, especially the way she interacted with him, and she was all over him. And then I thought she was just really intelligent and could read the surroundings. No wonder she chose Uraraka. Ugh.
Yes. And see, now you're as creeped out as I am about it.
I mean, I was already creeped out before because they essentially took a cute anime girl archetype and then made her personality what stands out about her. It's not even the fact that she looks like a schoolgirl. It's the fact that her personality is so messed up. You know what? Hold up. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me just fix this with the... So far, Lulu's the only one capable of like one-shotting. Oh!
I know. Just wait till you find out why she likes to cut people.
There's a backstory behind that?
It has to do with her quirk.
I'm just surprised that there's a backstory behind her really weird fetish to cut people.
I know. I
That's what I'm
think
calling it. That's what I'm calling a fetish.
you're right. It is. She's turned on by it. You can tell. It's really creepy.
I guess another thing towards like Uraraka, it feels like they're setting up something between Himiko and her anyway, because like the interactions haven't been the most friendly
Yeah, no, they're going to be eternal rivals.
for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, that depends on perspective.
Oh, thank you for hitting Titus. I needed to see that.
Don't worry, you're fixing the problem. It might not feel like it right now, but everything is getting better slowly.
Okay, who was okay? Auron, power break, that thing. And now Waka. Why not get you in here? I mean, like, right now, like the main reason I'm really excited about Stain is mainly just because of he's included in the My Hero Academia game as a playable character. It's like that is gonna be interesting gameplay right there.
Yeah, it is.
He was like one of the characters I was hoping to get added in there.
I hope Stain stays locked up forever, though.
I don't think he's gonna be like he's too useful of a character. Like he's
Yeah.
really did they have to switch the camera around?
No, they didn't have to, but they did anyway.
They censored it, but yeah, back to he's too useful of a character, in my opinion, to keep locked away. He's got to be used. There's.
Wait till you get to the Yakuza arc, and then you'll find that everyone is useless.
Wait, the Chinese mafia? No, not Chinese.
Japanese.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, why is it Chinese?
There's some crazy stuff that happens in that arc.
I guess there's more world building to be done. That's one thing I love about the show. It does really good world building.
It really does. So you almost feel like you could walk off a train in Japan and just appear in that version of Japan.
You know what I want them to do, and I hope they do it? There's a period of history that talks about the villains going rampant. I want to know more about that period in history.
I'd love to too, but if they can't story build it correctly, like if they have to we're going back in the past for a whole arc where the story is really ramping up, I'm going to be pissed off. If they don't do it right, I'm not going to be happy.
I guess that's true, but it's just more... for me, it's like... there was a period of history that we've been told that kind of got started... the start of the whole villain thing, and was where All For One is... well, you know, was born originally, because the man's over 1,000 years old, I suspect.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, like, I want to know more about that, because... I like to know more about where All Might's ideology came from. Now, granted, he was not around at that time, but I like to know more about his ideology and why he believes he needs to be a pillar, and why it led him.
There's a couple parts of the manga that discuss that, and I won't reveal too much. But All Might left for America, and that's why most of his smashes are United States states.
Yeah, I thought he was just being funny with those. I know he does go to America because they talk about that in the movie that's coming out. That he definitely did intern in America, which was quite surprising. But I like that even more because that tells us there's there's Western heroes in that world that we don't know about. Which I cannot wait. I also found out something a little bit interesting, and I really don't know why Google decided to spoil this for me, but I do know about Izuku's father coming back. Which is also another plot point that was irritating me a tiny bit. I was like, where the heck is this man?
Really? I don't want him to come back. I prefer him not being in the story.
Well, they talk about his father. They even name him apparently. Cause I mean, his name is popped up on the wiki. I didn't look at it. I just I didn't see much about him. It's apparently at some point he gets mentioned. So I was like, I actually want him to come back, mainly because All Might isn't always gonna be there. And
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of Deku's problems have to deal with his father not being around. So
yeah. Well, I mean, All Might can't last forever. I mean, he can't eat anything. I mean, have you noticed that he doesn't eat anything?
he was eating stuff when he first showed up in the series when he first appeared.
No, there was food by him, and I've seen it several times. I mean, he has no stomach. That's how bad One for All beat him up when he finally thought he'd killed him.
You mean All for One?
I said all.
Don't worry, don't worry. When I'm reviewing stuff with Jacques, I beat myself up about that. Like, no, that's not the right term.
But yeah, he's got no stomach. His lungs are compromised. I mean, like, he's coughing up blood constantly. There's no way he's gonna live much longer, and it sucks because he's such a cool character.
Yes, he is. But I guess from the sounds of it, that they're prepping Endeavor.
I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything.
Either I'm wrong or I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised.
No, you're not gonna be happy at all when you see what happens his first time out as number 1.
Oh, for the love of God, please don't kill Endeavor. I mean, he's not the nicest guy, but I really want a good.
Okay, do you want me to tell you?
Not really, considering I'll go read at some point.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it's not as bad as you think it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
So they don't kill him. Okay, never mind.
No, but they make it look really bad.
Well, Endeavor's got his own problem to deal with now, because now he's number 1 and he didn't earn it.
Yeah, he's really upset about that, by the way.
I mean, the anime they did a good job of showing that. I mean, he burnt down his dojo. Well, he didn't burn it down. It's lit up. It's a lit, literally. But
And to be fair, I would be that upset if that's how I got to be number 1.
I literally tried to explain this to Jock, because he does not like him. He sincerely does not like this guy, and I was like, you gotta understand. A lot of his problems are All Might related because of the way. I don't know much about the background and like where all this came from, but the little bits and tidbits they do reveal about his relationship with All Might is like, I feel like All Might's also a douchebag.
He may have acted that way towards him, or not even tried, but that's the way it was perceived. And it's like that. I understand. I understand Endeavor. There's things that he's done that I can't forgive and I can't forget, just like Todoroki is, or like his son rather. But that doesn't mean he can't get better than he was.
Yeah, Jock sees him as unredeemable.
Yeah,
He pokes fun at me every time I'm trying to look at the brighter side. Of Endeavor.
See, that seems weird to me, because there is some redemption trying to go on with this character as the story develops.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, what I've noticed, because I actually, like, before I really didn't like him, but the problem is I really do want a good fire-based hero in the series. So I'm looking at Endeavor's situation and his wife, and one of the things about Endeavor is, okay, first of all, let's forget about Endeavor. His wife, for instance, there are things telling me that he's not as bad as a person as he's perceived. First of all, his wife, or supposedly perceived wife, but I don't really know the relationship between these two. Because Todoroki, all he does is call her mother, so we don't really know if he's actually married. She's married to him or not. But she doesn't seem to be. She doesn't seem to have what is like I would perceive as Stockholm syndrome.
No, she really doesn't, and I do have to point out that I don't think he hurt her.
No, I don't think he did either. I'm actually 100% sure. I don't think he touched her. I don't think he touched her at all. I think
he treated their children made her hate him, which is totally understandable. But I can honestly tell you that was arranged marriage. It's not a big deal for me to spoil it. I don't think that's like.
No, I mean they say that he was like court marriages were like an important point of history. They banned it, so I'm aware that he was a bastard child.
That was totally the reason why he got with her, was so he could have Todoroki. He wanted a fire and ice user because he knew the limitations of his own quirk, and he knew that would make a better quirk user than he was, which makes him really smart beyond most quirk users in the series. Um, because he's not just thinking about himself and how much he has to fight. He's thinking about the next generation of heroes that have to fight villains. So I don't like what Endeavor did to his kids or how he made his wife think about him, but I understand that there's a brain at work upstairs, even if he is a terrible person alongside of it.
That's a good way. I just like, cause I looked at his situation and everything. I was like, I noticed like, as far as I could tell, I don't think he physically hurt her. And like, honestly, if you could really tell, especially with the fact that he does everything he touches burns and lights up in a flame. So it's like, I'm just like, the only thing that really happens, she was mentally hurt, but it looks like she's doing better. And on top of that,
Think of it, I think he hit her once,
he did.
and that was when she stood in between Totoro, or between Endeavor and his son. That's the only evidence that I'm aware of. I wish I could go like look it up right now and make sure, but I'm pretty sure he did hit her once.
And besides all the, I guess, intricate details, I'm just like, I'm hoping that he can be redeemed to a certain point. I mean, child abuse can never be like forgiven, and neither can wife beating. But it's just one of those things where you kind of, I think I've already saved and healed, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did. It's known where I'm at in the manga that he does go to the hospital. He hasn't gone in her room, but he's felt remorse for what he's done, and you can tell by his actions going into the hospital but not being able to look her in the eye. Like I said, there's a definite effort to redeem his character, and I think that's really cool. Because he can't be number one if he's not like All Might, and I think he knows that.
I mean, all the heroes look up to All Might, and that's kind of like, I just say when they animated that freaking United States of Smash, I'm so mad. I'm mad about this, and also really happy. I'm mad that he had to go out on that move because that means it can't be used anymore. Second of all, it was very powerful, but I'm so mad that it's like, I'm hoping, because like, when I first saw that, I read that as United We Stand Smash. Now, what I'm hoping is that Deku will take upon that move and take the name as well. No royalties need to be given. I'm giving the creator full liberty to use United We Stand. Just because I want to see Deku stand on somebody when he's using that.
Well, you have seen that Deku's not just a fist user anymore, right? Like
Well, he should be all around now. He shouldn't just be using his feet. Which what I'm hoping for when it comes down to, like, since he's now learning to kick now, he'll use the ultimates on his feet versus his hands. And he just use the light smash. He just use this fist to deal light damage.
Which makes sense because you have more stronger muscles in your legs. So it's like, yes, this is a way you could surpass All Might.
That's not what I'm looking for. Must not be on him. Okay.
Which is a crazy thought for me.
Well, I mean, it's not really, because like the legs carry most of the weight of the body anyway, and they do it every day of our lives. So like, of course, that'd be stronger because it would have to support, like, it had to support all that. And like Deku's situation, like thinking about that, that makes Deku stronger than All Might. When he gets to his prime, he'll be 10 times like the strength of All Might in his feet alone.
Yep. Well, and you have to account for the way that One for All works. He's already going to be stronger than All Might in theory.
I mean, yeah, because of the 8 generations of power.
Yep.
That precede him.
That's really cool too, by the way.
I mean, All Might added to it anyway, and that's probably, honestly, I guess at the end of the day, like when he used United States of Smash, he probably what that did is probably lend Deku all that strength that he just used at one point in time. So I guess when Deku needs to dive into deeper into One for All, like One for All, he dives deeper into One for All, he'll have access to that. Because apparently some comments have been saying like those stars that you see whenever he does go plus Ultra are actually the predecessors. Each color represents one of the predecessors.
That makes sense. There's also part of that animation where it shows his master giving him her hair so he could consume it. So I'm like thinking that maybe that there's also a one-time gift of power for emergency situations like that that she might have added in to One for All, or that may have existed from the get-go. I don't know. I'm just theorizing that that's a possibility. Because why would you animate that in there like that at that point? Why would you add that tidbit?
I mean, the idea is that they slowly lose their power once they give it over, which is why they're still able to use and still remain active. But unlike, because of Nana, I don't want to keep calling her Nanu. Nana, because of Nana's death, we weren't able to see how much longer she had. But theoretically, All Might had longer than she did. But we don't really know because she died way before we really knew what was happening.
Do you know how she died?
All for One killed her.
Yep. Now imagine being All Might, have to fight him, knowing that after you thought you killed him. Like I said, I think that there was a special transfer between the two of them in the process of passing on All for One, or One for All. I did it again, damn it.
I mean, honestly, we don't know the full inner workings of One for All. Okay, I did that right. One for All. I had to think about what I just said. One for All. I think the special conditions, because I will say, I thought to talk about this too. It's very weird and a very interesting detail that All Might let Deku know that the only way you can pass it on is not only the user has to be willing to pass it on. It's like, why say that? That's too convenient.
It's so specific. Why do you have to be willing to pass it on? Is that because All for One was willing to pass on a quirk to his weaker brother?
I guess. I don't really know. Maybe there is. I mean, technically, he still is his quirk. Because I mean, I think even One for All said that still is his quirk that you're still using. So it's like, I guess at the end of the day, it's like, I guess that would make sense. Like, why? Like, if that special condition still exists, then that means that, yeah, you would have to be willing to pass it on. But that's also very bad, because what if the person who gets the quirk is somebody with ill intent?
Yeah, well, that's why do you think he picked Deku over anybody else? It's because he knew what was in Deku's heart.
But another thing too, I don't think All Might was intending to give it away so fast.
I don't think he had a choice.
The thing is, I mean, I know the whole point of him being there was to. I'm gonna get this so wrong, but I think the whole point of him being there was to search out a Nope, I give up.
Protege.
Yeah, a protege. Jesus, Walker. I know you didn't get the bingo. My goodness. But the whole point of him being there was to search out somebody to give the quirk to. He didn't really get a chance to scope anybody out when he saw Deku, because Deku came to him first.
Yeah, well, I mean, fated situation. I mean, there's a story actually about another candidate. That's also in the Yakuza arc.
I might have seen this guy. I don't know. I've seen bits and pieces of like the manga, but I remember there was a point where Deku was walking with a kid inside of a city, with a little girl involved.
It's really creepy.
Don't think I've seen him then.
Okay, I take that back. It's super plain.
Then I think I have seen him. I don't know his deal, but I definitely do know he's walking around with Deku. Now the problem is, now you said that my original analysis of him is completely wrong. Then he actually might be the villain of that arc.
No, it's not.
Oh.
You're actually correct, and I will spoil that tidbit. He was the other possible candidate.
I remember something about like Deku's being tested to see if he was worthy of being the successor, but I was like, What in the world? I didn't understand what was going on at the time because I wasn't really all up into it. So it was like one of those
Mhm.
things. It was like I don't understand what's going on. I'm seeing Deku being really cool, bouncing around and everything, but I don't get what was happening.
Oh boy, once you get to the end of the Yakuza arc, man, I I'm still like I don't know how I feel about the direction of the story, honestly.
I mean, the author says he's already got the ending already planned out. So whatever happens between now and then is like it's already been planned out. So whatever happens, like whether people like it or not, it's gonna happen. I also seen a lot of like power ups that I'm still trying to understand the context of, such as like regenerative 100%, which is very OP when it comes considering how the quirk works and Deku's body reacts to it.
Yeah. Well, it even healed everything that had previously been wrong with him. So all that ligament damage in his arms is just poof, gone. So
Oh dear God! If he were to go back to zero and with the knowledge he has now, that'd be ridiculous.
yeah, that's the thing is it's like he got a get out of jail free card and it's like that's not fair.
Well, nobody else has those problems because like they had like you gotta understand. I know you understand this, but I mean this
They've
is
had their
like
quirks their whole lives. They
yeah,
know
and
what limitations
Deku just got him, so he had to learn his limitations. Granted, he didn't really learn them because I'm still a little bit I'm still like when it comes to Deku fighting Muscular, I think that was probably the most reckless thing he's done. And Jock doesn't agree with that, but I really think that was like 100% reckless.
he had no choice. I don't agree with what he did, but I understand why he did it.
I still think there must have been a way around it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a cool moment him using 1,000,000%. I will not put that back, but it was still. Honestly was like,
Super stupid.
Deku, why? You're an intelligent main character, a rarity amongst anime. Period.
You don't
But
have to do this. But he knew he was in a situation where
at the
he
same
had no
time, he kind of
choice.
had to do it. I understand both sides. I'm just like I'm more upset that because like I really wish there was no around it, but it looks like because of the situation he was currently in, there was no other way around it, and that makes me more upset because like Deku put himself into a situation where he couldn't get out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he went there on his own, thinking that nothing was going to be wrong, and it's like the whole forest is under attack. Not just the heroes and the hero wannabes in the forest. The forest is under attack. You got to assume that where you're going is going to have a bad guy. I'm sorry, it just
Not really. When you had to consider the teachers were supposed to. They said that they had switched their location to a secret location, which I'm like still confused about. Okay, who's the leak? Because this is getting ridiculous now. Like the villains are winning and they don't have to do much, but I'm still kind of curious about that. It's like, but like they switched their location, so they shouldn't have found out. The villains should know where they are, and it's like there's certain characters, especially one character that I saw a theory about, which I hope is true. I know some people are not gonna be happy about this, but I really would hope that Dabi is the unspoken of older brother of Todoroki that we don't know about yet.
oh, really?
There's a theory about that he might be that older brother we don't know about yet.
That would be extremely disappointing. Todoroki is not a he doesn't seem like a double agent. It's one of the teachers.
Not saying Todoroki is the leak. It'd be really weird if I'm talking about his brother. There's an older brother that hasn't been given a name because
Right.
the older brother I'm talking about is Dobby. I'm hoping that it is him because it'd be interesting because the way Endeavor treated his children, none of them seem to want to go evil, but we don't know about one child as of yet. And Dobby is peculiarly weird in the sense that he's been knocked out almost every time that Todoroki's been around, and that's very weird. Like Dobby has not met Todoroki face to face, not one time. Like it's been like he's never been. Every time Todoroki's around, Dobby's never been around, and like the one time that would have been perfect for those two to meet, Dobby was dealing with Eraserhead.
Right.
So
That's really specific.
they've never met. Those two have never met, not once.
Never considered that. But no, I still think that the leak is a teacher, and it's a teacher we don't know yet. Either that, or it's a very disillusioned student who is probably going to
Well,
graduate
J-
soon.
Jock Jock is under the impression that it might be a Hatsume. And he says this because there was one student during the attack, the guy with the gas mask. He had specially designed gear. And he was also a student. It didn't say what school he went to, but he was a student.
He was too young to be attending a high school.
You never really know. I mean, like she designs tech for anybody. It doesn't really matter who it is. So she might have accidentally let something slip.
I don't think so. She doesn't seem like that type. Excuse me. But no, that student, like I said, I don't think he's too young to be going to that school, so I don't think that would be the case there either. There's all kinds of support companies though that are willing to sell to both sides. So I mean, that would be an easy way. Power Loader, for example, could be the teacher that's playing both sides.
I guess because we don't really know much about him.
They're not getting support items, and so I mean, the League of Villains isn't. So I don't know. I've been thinking about it for a long time because it's obvious that since the get-go of that year at UA, information had been getting out, but no one looks like the obvious suspect.
Yeah. I don't know who it would be. Honestly, I mean, it might be a teacher. I mean, I already kind of come to the conclusion it has to be somebody we haven't seen yet. But I have a theory that it's like, it could be, and I'm heavily suspecting the guy with the blood quirk. The vampire dude. Yeah, King Vlad. I think it's King Vlad. I'm highly suspecting him because he has a rivalry. He's the one. He's the one that's in charge of 1B, and he's. I know that he's joked around with the teachers and everything, but he seems to hold some type of grudge against 1A, and specifically Aizawa as well. I don't know what it is. Like he just doesn't seem to like him.
You know, that makes sense.
So like I mean, it could be him. I'm highly suspecting it's him. But I don't know if it's him or not.
That doesn't make sense. He's had direct contact in fighting villains in the forests.
I mean, he could be playing. He could be playing them at that point. Granted, he's done a lot of damage to them, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is this when you have to make it look convincing? It's hard to tell. It's probably the most interesting thing about what's going on in that series right now.
With the mole?
What don't we know? Yeah, what don't we know?
And that's just bad that we're going to be a lot, because, like, I also have a problem with that doctor that told Deku he had no quirk. I still don't buy that he's missing a ligament in his pinky toe. That I have a problem with. I have a problem with that.
This. I think Deku's quirk is in his brain. His ability to analyze is so far beyond anyone else's that it would take a team of experienced heroes to think and act as quickly. Not just experienced heroes, but heroes experienced working with each other in a given type of situation to react the way he does.
I guess, okay, how about this way? I guess theory crafting for Deku's, like, really weird, oddly specific quirk. How about, okay, I know you see enough anime to the point where you see, like, most main characters have the ability to sway people. What if the creator decided to turn that into an ability that, like, that's in the world versus, like, anything else? Like, he could just sway anybody because it's like nothing he has full control over. It's just a quirk that's constantly on.
Then all for one has something he's looking for.
Yes.
That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. It's like, that's nice for Deku, but if All For One ever finds out, that world is screwed.
I just thought about that too. I was like, what if? Because I say this because Deku has swayed just about everybody who's ever had contact with him on the hero side. Aizawa, a guy who's been hardened to fail a class, every single one of them, he swayed him. Which was very weird.
Bakugo has been swayed by Deku, even though it's more of in a negative fashion. I can see what you're saying, yes.
I mean, this is common main characters and like all main characters do this to casting characters. They sway them, but this is one of those things where like he could have taken an idea further and turned it into a quirk.
Hmm. But here's the thing: that ability has been passed on already. There are members of the class that can do that now, like say Ida
Yeah, I guess that's
during
true.
the exam phase for their provisionals.
Though the thing with his analyzation, he hasn't been using it a lot lately. Which I feel like they
No.
dumbed him down because of it. It's like I feel like he's dumbed down because of it.
But yeah, when he inspired Aoyama to be really stupid and be like, "Here's my belly laser, everyone." Yes, I had to make fun of that moment. I couldn't help it.
I still want to know him a little bit more because like the episode they had him like I guess with him and Ida, and they show a little bit of his backstory, which was very little, mind you. It was like almost like here we're gonna give you something about him, not much, just enough, just to
He was
get you
born
interested.
without a quirk. That's why he went with belly navel laser thing. Uh,
Wait, what?
yeah, he was born quirkless. That belt is a support item. The look on your face right now.
I'm processing. I'm gonna just keep on playing. I'm
Okay.
processing. I'm finding out a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be having a hard time not slipping when I talk to John.
I'm sorry. I know too much, and it's hard for me not to reveal little tiny things.
How did he get in the? I'm still confused about how to get to school to begin with.
How is he in class 1A with a belly laser? A support item. I don't ask me.
I'm asking
So
you.
much I don't know.
I have questions. I need
I have
answers.
questions. I can't answer these questions because I have the same ones.
At least I can understand Mineta to a point, but to a point, which is a very small point. Like it's
He
so
wanted
it's.
to be an R-rated hero because R-rated heroes exist. So that's easy to understand. Mineta is painfully simple in that aspect.
At least he's fighting for something. I think it's gonna his reason for being here is gonna evolve because it took him to that point to even get a reason to want to be a hero in the first place. But
Mm-hmm.
Jock's gonna probably hate me. But I got a power couple here, Mineta and Froppy.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
sorry. I am so sorry. Not really, but I'm so sorry. That hurt you a
At
little bit,
least
didn't you?
let her
That
go
that
with
that.
Todoroki, and then they can have fire and ice frog children.
Dear, ugh.
You're like, ew, but I'm like, they will
I'm, I'm,
giggle
I'm,
at
trying,
the
I'm, trying, I'm
thought.
trying to process how that would even happen. It's like, okay, like she be giving birth to fire and ice tadpoles.
Yes. Oh, by the way, have you seen her family?
Yeah, I've already seen Jacqueline have seen it, and I'm like, she's the most normal looking of the entire. I'm still confused for how the anatomy of that family
Yes.
worked.
I, I thought the same exact thing. It's like, why does she look so normal and they look so,
Frog like.
not even necessarily frog-like. I consider that more toad-like.
I guess. I guess speaking of, I looked some trivia up for you. Froppy's female because there wasn't enough female representation. Froppy was
Yes.
actually originally male, which was very shocking to me. And so was Invisible Girl.
Yes. Which, by the way, I'm sorry. I have to put Invisible Girl to rest right now. You're gonna smell her coming.
Is this a menopause joke?
No, this is just an in general genital smell joke.
I'm trying to put a fish joke here, but I can't. First of all, it would be in poor taste. And second of all, I can't really fit in a fish joke.
No, you can't.
I could not catch that. But
But you see my problem with Invisible Girl, right? Like,
she probably doesn't admit any order. Probably what it comes down to, or something.
that's cheaty. her quirk is invisibility, not lack of odor. I'm sorry, you're a human being. You will emit things called smells. It's impossible for you not to. It's part of the condition. It's okay.
I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not the only ones who are aware of this. But okay, quirks manifest at the age of 4, right?
Yes.
Does that mean she was visible up to that point?
That must have been really weird for her parents.
That's what I was saying. It's like, wait a minute, quirks manifest at 4. Was she visible up to that point? And because
That's
she's
the kind of quirk that would be always on to begin with. So was she invisible at birth?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. What, like, when did her quirks manifest at 4, or further from that? The earliest they can manifest is 4. So like, my idea is like, was she visible up to her like her 4th birthday? So when she blew her candle, she's like, "Honey, where'd you go? I'm right here, mommy." Just starts screaming and
You call the emergency quirk doctor because I'm sure there's such a thing in a world like that.
emergency quirk. I still don't trust the doctor. And I've also been led to believe, I think that doctor might have been the doctor that's actually the one taking care of One for All. No, All for One.
Really?
I'm like, there have been things going around. Other people have kind of said that too. I started looking at that. I think you can almost see the doctor is talking to All for One, and I think he almost looks like him. So either like it's him several years later, or he has a twin brother. So it's one.
That's the thing. A doctor would be impartial.
And All for One is like in a very like critical condition right now. He has no face, so he needs to be.
Face before he got punched by All Might this time.
I'm about to say he didn't have a face to begin with. I was like, that had to be really that had to be really awkward for dating. That had to be really awkward for dating.
Yes. I think it was in the manga where All Might's like, when did that industrial zone pop out from your neck?
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore, right? Like, the sad thing is probably half the reason it's there is because All Might punched him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the reason why. I'm almost 100% sure. Like he didn't need none of that breathing. He didn't need that breathing apparatus before he met All Might.
Before they had their showdown that was very quietly put to rest.
Yeah, I'm still confused about how do you hide a fight that big from the public? Because we've already seen the reporters. Any information that they get.
Yeah, they're kind of nutty, aren't they?
So I'm still confused how that slipped through the. I understand he has a friend in the police department. So I can only suggest he must have a friend in the press as well. I say this because like there's no way you could hide a fight that big, considering how much damage one punch did. One punch did the atmosphere when he punched that slime dude and caused a rainstorm. So
yeah, that's the thing that I don't get either. Is like, how do you keep a fight that big secret unless they agreed to meet up in the middle of the nowhere in the middle of the night? Like, really, guys? What is this? A date?
My biggest problem is like, okay, you have a fight that big of a scale. I have a good comparison to a fight that big on a scale. It's One Piece. It's at the entire time. Well, it actually happens during the time skip. There's these two admirals that unless you watch the show, you won't get who these two admirals are. But like, we should say that in this world, One Piece, if you have the title admiral in the Navy, you're pretty much an OP person. The main character couldn't hold a torch to any of these people. Anytime he fought them, it wasn't really a fight. It was more of a beat down on their part. But let's just say, okay, there's this guy with ice powers, and there's this guy who has magma powers. Now, okay, you would think magma would just evaporate ice. No, these two were so powerful. During their fight, they changed the climate permanently on the island they were fighting on.
Nice.
So this...
Were they Kyogre and... What's his face? I always forget
Groudon?
the other one. Yeah, Groudon.
I never made the comparison, but Now you made that comparison. No, thank Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, they changed the climate. No, I'll say this much: the climate in One Piece is really crazy after the Grand Line, the Red Line.
Mm,
So like
mm,
anything can happen. You can have like raining fire hail on one day, but they were fighting on an island by themselves to get promoted. Uh, and they changed the climate permanently. You can't hide
that's
that. Like if you have an entire island's climate changing. So I'm
mm,
still confused how you could hide some dude who's capable of changing, is able to make it rain, like just with his fist.
Well, and then there's All for One. What quirks was he stacking? You heard him during his final fight with All Might. I mean, he was bragging about the quirks he had stacked at the moment. It's like his thing is like, oh, I've got a boner for all these quirks that I put together. I hope you like them. It's
What
like,
you?
you guys, that's not what he says, but I mean, like, I don't know. Anytime you have a hero and a villain who fight multiple times like that, part of me thinks that there's some part of them that really likes the other one, and the only way they can express their feelings for each other is by trying to murder. Yeah.
I mean, you can compare that to the Batman and Joker relationship.
That's where it comes from. That is literally where that comes from. I'm so glad that you knew that.
I mean,
That's
I watched Batman and heard the Joker. I mean, Bruce Wayne has never said this, but he acknowledges this. Joker just come out with it. They can't exist without each other. It's just they can't exist without each other. So it's like that's a really weird relationship.
it is. It is considering that Batman created Joker.
But continuity wise, we there's really no real continuity, and I hit the wrong
It's fine.
oh well.
Conversation's way better than the grind tonight for whatever reason.
But yeah, it's just one of those weird things. I don't know. Like I'm expecting like I mean, Jock said this is better than I could. Like he's just probably Alpha One's probably just sitting in there just waiting to get out. 'Cause I don't.
He's gonna get out. He has to pass on his quirk to his protege. He has to. Because that's where the anime is going. You know it has to be a build up to them being in the same situation as both of their predecessors. There's no other way for the anime and the manga to go. I mean, the story, it's written in that direction, if you know what I mean.
I mean, both characters. Like I know the end all be all fight's going to have to be Deku versus Shimura anyway, because those two haven't fought yet. And Todoroki's. I mean, that Shimura's already said the next time I see you, I'm going to have to kill you. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's been said now. Now we those two can't meet because when that happens, we know he's impulsive.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't kill him in the mall meeting. I mean, he was one finger away from.
Well, I mean, he all he wanted to do was talk, which I'm surprised he held that part of the bargain up for so long. I'm surprised he analyzed the situation as well he did. Like, I could get away from this, but you can't. I can
That's
just
the
fade.
part that really tripped me out. Is like, I thought Tomoroshi or Tomorashi was just this impulsive teenager who had no idea what he was doing being a villain. But in that moment, he came into his own in such a way that it sent shivers up my spine because he did it in front of so many people. And he got away with it so easily.
All I said was, I was like, "I'm Batman." When he disappeared, he just disappeared.
He did too. He was just gone. It was like, wow. And that's everything he ever wanted. Was that one conversation with Deku. You remember how Deku convinces people was your idea of his quirk? Well, it worked against him in that moment.
Well, I mean, he wasn't wrong that the moment that like I kill somebody, it's gonna cause a mass panic, and
Yeah.
we already know what we already know what like I think it's not raiding, but looting is like here in America without powers. Imagine looting on a grander scale with people with powers.
Yeah, no. No. You might as well call Japan lost at that point. Let's straight up, like,
Think
there's no denying.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, this looting is already like very bad when it comes to like natural disasters. But
Hmm.
put powers into that situation, you got a problem. I mean, that's why they had to outlaw it, but it's, that whole law thing needs to be worked on too.
Yeah, that's the thing is I feel like there are people who should be allowed to use their powers in non-hero capacities in their everyday lives, and that would keep there from being so many villains. I feel like it's a common sense thing, right? Like, I don't know.
Mm.
Well, because it seems like either you're a hero and you're allowed to use your powers by law, or you're a villain and you're told use your power to your whims. Fuck the law. When everybody else is just like, yeah, I've got quirks, but I'm just a normal person. I ride the train home every day.
I mean, that gets into just the whole moral territory, which like me and Jock were having a heated discussion about like morality in this world. And like he was talking about it because I forgot there were no moves during the Bakugo saving thing. I
Mm.
forgot they were even there because they weren't really used all that often. So like when he brought up
Yeah.
like those no moves were essentially like murdered, and they like the heroes committed murder because like they weren't doing anything. I was
But
like,
the thing is they're living death machines.
yeah, but Jog also we also know they're human, so technically speaking, they're taking out human lives. I was arguing the fact that in the situation, you almost would have to kill them because they would attack. They were dangerous.
They don't have control of themselves anymore. They were designed by All for One to destroy. You're mercy killing these things. You're giving them freedom from the pain
Yeah,
that having all those quirks causes.
I was arguing that point too, but like Jog was arguing the point was that they were still human and they didn't try any other way to because he was going off the whole idea that killing shouldn't be allowed, and I have a problem with that in terms of generally being a hero. This is like I'm still
Okay, so then how do you deal for All for One? You have to kill him, or he will keep doing what he is doing. You have to.
I don't know. Jock was just like the whole human thing, and this is where morals come into play. And I'm like, I was sitting there like, I couldn't come up with any real answer because to the predicament that Deku's probably gonna have to find himself involved in because he will have the power to kill Shimura, but will he do it?
He, either he will have to, or he will be the only one that can save him. There's only two options there. Will he pull the I'm Luke Skywalker and you're my father and you can't kill me? We don't know.
Well, there's some Star Wars references in here thrown in throughout like streets and stuff like that, so they could pull the whole "I can save you." Because honestly, here's the thing about it: the way they played Shimura versus All for One, I hope I said that right. Uh, the way they played him off was like he was influenced first of all because as a little kid, we don't know at least I don't know the circumstances that he was under when he was a little kid and he was out in the street and everybody was walking past him. Uh, he was already trained to not trust people to begin with. Then somebody who looks doesn't look normal came out to him and held his hand out saying, "I will save you. I am here." Essentially
Yeah.
parroting All Might.
Yeah.
So it's like his savior happens to be a not so average person. And he owes everything to him.
That's the thing is though, the whole thing with what the villains are trying to do is they want to blur the lines of good and evil. And I understand that's why Jacques wants to hold this exact line. But when you have villains that are willing to kill and will not stop killing until you put them out, what choice do you have but to do what they do to stop them?
Yeah,
And
but
yes, that
continue.
makes everything more complicated, but what are you gonna do? Lock up all these murderers behind bars until the League of Villains shows up and it's like, hey, you want to go murder some people?
I don't like how close to my ears that was.
I'm sorry, but you know that's how they're gonna be.
I'm not arguing that, but it's like that was extremely close to my ears. I know you're in Michigan. You put your mouth on your mic.
No,
Oh,
I didn't.
oh,
There was like a half inch of space. Normally it's like 3 inches or more away from my face.
that might be how good these headphones are. But 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 yeah, the like I'm trying to figure out like it's a really weird situation, and there's gonna be a lot of things the creator's gonna have to address before the series does end officially. Um,
Hmm.
so like what I'm expecting is that Shimura is gonna change sides. That's what I'm totally expecting. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I feel like he can be swayed because All For One can just talk to him and tell him what's wrong and what he's doing wrong. And because the way, as far as I'm aware, with an anime, when now that he's in jail, Shimura has a goal now, which is to break him out. It looks like that's what they're leading him towards to do. Because like,
Yes, actually, where I am in the manga, they're getting really brazen, and I think that's the direction that they're planning to head in. Yes, which is terrifying because there's no one to put him in check right now. There's no one who can stand toe to toe with All For One and put him in his place. No one. There's no team of anyone who could do that either. So the world it's heading to a very bad place if it goes where it looks like it's supposed to go.
well, I think we're gonna see a whole. Maybe we don't have to deal with the whole like the missing years that were talked about at the very beginning of the series, where the villains are running amok. We might be seeing that. We might be seeing that modern time versus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very expectable.
You said the overdrive can hit the flying enemies.
You can hit it with both, but Spiral cut to one target.
Well, it's only like one guy here.
Yeah, I just I just wanted you to know that Slice and Dice hits all the targets. I mean, it's a multiple hit thing anyway, but you might as well go for Spiral Slice because yeah. That is such a cool animation.
Yeah, I love that actually. Just the way the wind like decided to poof like off as soon as he spin jumped.
Yeah.
Oh, I got good. I got some good spears here. Okay, did you go back and heal again? Might as well.
Can you imagine being quirkless in that world though, and heroes being like everything?
Well, I think there is a manga where there is a main character. There's like just a spin-off. I think My Hero Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about that, but it looks like the main character, I think, might be quirkless. Either that or he's not going. He's being a vigilante and doing a lot of things that he shouldn't be. I think it is that he doesn't have a quirk and he's doing things that he shouldn't be doing.
Oh, okay.
And by that I mean being a hero without a license.
Yeah, well, and that whole thing is so bullshit to me. It's like, so I have a quirk and I'm a teenager and I can use my quirk to save people in a natural disaster. Am I going to get ticketed because I chose to do that?
Apparently, yes.
If I can defend someone from an oncoming attack, I'm not intending to outright fight this person. I'm just intending to slow them down and keep them from hurting others. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we gotta look at the situation of Todoroki, Deku, and Deku and Ida. That's why I says Ida were in. Ida was there to hurt this man. He says he was there to arrest him, but I think he was there to kill him. But
he was definitely there to avenge his brother. I mean, he said those words.
So they were using lethal force on this man. So at the same time,
if you don't use lethal force, he's gonna kill you. I mean,
that is also true. I'm just saying that's what was happening, and that's what the laws are set there to do. I'm just saying the situation.
Black and white. There's so much gray area. Like I said, I just laid out two really good situations where it's like you're gonna punish these kids for doing the right thing. Now that situation that you're talking about that actually happened, I think they should have taken the notoriety that went with it. I would have been like, yeah, you can punish me, whatever. Send me back to school. You ain't gonna send me home. You know what I can do. You know what I'm going to do. You know what basically, by my actions, you know I'm going to be a good hero. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
that's why they tried to sweep it under the rug to begin with. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't really know. I don't like that there's a law suddenly decided to be thrown in at this point in the series. But at the same time, I guess it's like it's just one of those things where like we're going to probably ask this question about like what's the laws like in this world. So I think
Mm.
this is probably the perfect point to throw in that there are laws for quirks involved, which makes a lot of sense because um, if we go back to the time when the first quirk showed up and then all this mayhem broke out and
Yeah.
there were no laws governing quirks, you have to imagine the damage that was being done.
Hmm. But I don't think that means that you put it into a position. Let's take the Second Amendment, for example. Some people read that as it is on paper. When a lot of people see the word militia involved for a citizen militia, and it's like for me, it's like, okay, do you guys get together and practice your guns together under a label that's not the National Rifle Organization or Association? No, you there is no such thing as a civilian militia. So it's like, why are you reading the law as every citizen must have a gun? Like what? Or the amendment, excuse me. It's not a law. God, can you imagine?
I'm just gonna say this and then move on back to my hero. But it's just,
Mhm.
like I hate to say this, I really freaking do. Uh, I feel like it's mostly the southern people. I was gonna use another word to describe them, but I'm just gonna say it's the deep south. It's mostly the deep south because a lot of people who are who are arguing for common sense gun laws are people up in the north, or people like in the kids like in Florida, who are in Florida who want to go to school without the fear of somebody putting a gun to their head. Which, by the way, they should be allowed to. I don't care what
No
anybody
question.
says.
Yeah.
Like I went to school and I didn't fear that. I mean, I still fear dying and I still fear the guns, but I didn't fear there being a gun, in the locker next to my locker. You know.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I had a principal ask me one year, "You're not going to come to school and shoot anybody, right?" And I was like, "The only person I'd shoot is me. I
Whoa.
don't want to kill anybody. I want them to remember how terrible they made me feel inside." Is that worse than being a school shooter? Question mark.
That went dark. Back on the
It
happier
did.
subjects, which
Yeah.
I mean, guess isn't really so happy because we're still talking about murder. But
But I know what you mean about what you said about the Second Amendment people. We can definitely go back to anime or whatever else you'd like to talk about. I had to use that as a real world example because it made sense.
I understand. I'm just saying it's mostly the people, and I could be wrong, politically wrong, but I feel the people who are arguing that are most of the people down in the deep south. And I'm not gonna use the word that would pick out those specific Southerners, but we should say that if they had their way, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, and
I'm just gonna be.
I I know the people you're talking about, and they're not just in the South; they're everywhere. But they're predominantly Southern, so you're not wrong in saying that. But I hate those people. Now, every race has shown the propensity for being physically athletic. Every race has shown the propensity for being super intelligent or able to do things that other people can't do. So, why is anyone in the 21st century like white supremacy? Like, what? Oh, I said it. I wasn't
I mean,
supposed to.
the basic idea. I guess before we jump, because we're gonna jump.
Hmm.
The basic idea, like I mean, this is never said in the books, but at least I think it what made, but like the basic idea that I've learned about why like my African ancestors were even drugged. I mean, not dragged. Well, not drugged. Well, actually, maybe they were drugged. I don't really know. But the reason why they were dragged across the ocean, far away from their home, was
Hmm.
because they were athletically, like they were physically stronger than the Europeans that were
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
That's why they were. That's why they were put into the field. That's why they were forced to do a lot of that hard labor.
Hmm.
Um, like you said before, each race has shown the like various other attributes as well. There are
Hmm.
a lot of people. There are a lot of Africans over here, who are really smart to the point where they lead the division in science and math and just
Hmm.
all kind of like most of the people leading in there are African.
Well,
And
I don't know her name, but there was an African American woman who helped us get to the moon. She did some of the
yeah,
math, but
they did a
go ahead.
movie. They did a movie with
Yeah,
her involved. Uh,
exactly.
I didn't know about that until the movie came. I was like, oh dang. But
It's cool.
it's very cool. But it's just that I when he say that, like, when those people said, you need to go back to Africa. First of all, they wouldn't like me over there. I would probably die. I couldn't survive over there. Second of
Yeah.
all, I'm like probably fifth generation African American as it is, or even further out actually. But I don't think they would like me. First of all, like I feel like they wouldn't because like, people don't like America to begin with. So like, what happened to a black American coming over there? And it's just like I didn't want to be over here. You dragged like my ancestors over here, which is the
Yeah.
main reason why I am here.
Hmm.
So I don't get the whole go back. And on top of that, you don't belong here either. Like
That's the thing. Is it's like, okay, under that thought, let's give it all back to the Native Americans, guys. Let's give it all back. I'll go to Canada. That's fine. They share their land with the Native Americans. They're all good with it. But if you're gonna say Africans got to go back to Africa, regardless of if they were born in America or in Africa, we got to leave too. I totally agree with that thought process, but I've said it before, and I'll say it a little bit here. It's complicated to talk about because everything that it means to be human is so rapidly changing that so many different people are afraid that the old ways or the things that they know are dying. That's why they're acting as viciously, as rudely, as evilly as they are. I don't agree with it. I kind of think I understand where they might be coming from. But it's like, instead of being hateful, why aren't you acting to preserve what you know?
because a lot of that what they know is arrogant and hateful.
I'm not talking about the racism. I'm talking about the other parts of your southern culture, the farming, the family, the food. Why aren't you acting to preserve these things instead of attacking things that are outside of the circle that you want kept?
I mean, my parents believe they're trying to get us back into that subservient role. What? Like, I mean, they've already said it though. It's like we're not gonna go back.
No.
We're not gonna
If
go
that ever
back.
happened, I would fight on your side. I hope that didn't need to be said.
All right, but I guess it's like one of those things. I don't really know. Like right now, I think a lot of it is just Trump. But back
Well,
on to
yes, he he brought out a lot of angry people last election cycle, and we're still feeling the waves of that in a lot of ways. So frustrating.
just wanted to check to see if there's anybody in there I wasn't seeing in the chat.
I can check the list.
I've already seen him. Like I know it's like the only two people here. I think it's me and you.
Slow Cool, Electric Longboard, Decaf Smurf, Commander Root, Africole, Root Fruit. But they're all view bots, which is why they're not showing up. Trust me, I hope this VOD is saved and someone listens to us talking about this. Not right now, but like 100 years from now.
That this file will be lost in the ether.
Yeah, well, oh right. Damn, you're not affiliate. You can't save. That sucks.
I thought I was well. Ball to the face.
Affiliate is at 50 followers, and you have to have 5 concurrent viewers for a month.
Well, I think I've already had the viewer count. I think.
You probably have.
Back to my hero. I don't know where like slavery got involved in this. Actually, oh dear God, I don't even know if they're gonna. They actually might go. They actually might step over that. Oh God, because I know they did in One Piece, so they might do it here.
Well, okay, so it's expectable. We need a certain amount of manpower that isn't out there doing the evil deeds that we're doing. Yeah, I know.
You talking about real life, or are you talking about like?
Both.
Oh. I honestly, now that I know that there's U.S. heroes, Like that gives me hope that okay, we might actually get like a Black Panther inspired hero to show up at some point, which would be quite interesting.
I don't know. It's very Asian, my hero. So I don't want to say don't expect it, but it doesn't seem expectable. I guess is the best way to say that.
I didn't expect them to talk about the U.S. like USA at all. To be completely honest, but like they mentioning in the manga that he went there, so like it's one of those things where like I'm not gonna hold my hopes up for it, but I'm just like it'd be interesting if we do go to African, like how far west will we go in this world? Like how far west has he thought about, and
Right.
how far west does he plan to go?
Hmm.
Because honestly, if I were him, I wouldn't go further than the United States. But that's just me, mainly because I wouldn't want to plan that far out and have that many characters from different like parts of the world to be
Yeah.
expected, especially people like get attached to certain characters. So it's like,
Well, and I wouldn't want to go to the Asian mainland or Europe or Africa or South America at all. That's if you just have America and Japan, that's so much easier to deal with, like you say. I definitely don't want him to go to Russia. I'll stop reading the manga. I won't watch the show anymore. Oh, I gotta stop doing that.
really hate Russia. And so far, Lulu has been one-shotting these ice gunks for the entire stream.
It's been good. I like it. I don't hate Russia. I hate a certain man in Russia.
Putin.
Yeah.
I could have said Adolf Hitler, but I think that's kind of like that goes without saying.
Yes, it really does. Except he's doing things that I don't think Adolf would have ever thought of. He was more worried about conquering countries than he was trying to interfere in their elections. It's much harder to get killed off if you're just interfering in elections.
I mean, Adolf, like, I mean, of all the bad he's done, the one good thing he was good at was talking. He was, like, a great speech giver. He could convince
That's
anybody in the room, which was kind of like one of his, like, I would say quirks if he were put into this My Hero world.
hmm I have to say I agree. But he was so fanatical about his own beliefs. Like, I think the world we should all be hippies smoking pot. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go out there and make everybody do it. I'm
You
just
haven't?
saying that's a much better world than the one we're living in, you know?
I'm just saying you haven't?
No, no,
I can imagine you out there on the road, like, hey, bro, you want to smoke this reefer?
yes. Oh, oh, that's so good. Stop being angry. This will help.
Like, leave me alone. I got some ways to go.
No, you're too angry.
Dear God, that'd be horrible if you were doing that.
See, that's what I said. Like, of course, that's not my strongest view, but that's a view that I've held more times than not. It's like the world would be a much happier place if everyone just sat down and smoked a doob or a bowl or, you know, eat an edible. And I'll go down the list. But that doesn't mean I'm going to make everyone go do it, like I said.
Eat an edible, he says. I wish Lazarus was here so we could quote that.
Actually,
What?
your view count jumped up, but it's not showing anyone new. I'm suspicious.
Let me say Lazarus is here. Like, quick, go back a couple of seconds.
Oh God. That'd be hilarious. Well, that's what they call it when they infuse food with cannabis. Is they call it an edible.
Oh, pot brownies.
That's the best example. But I mean, I've had like lemonade before, and there's chocolate and all kinds of things. Rice Krispie treats.
It's weird. It's weird to think that chocolate used to be an aphrodisiac.
I can see how it could have been, but can you imagine how sexually repressed people were in the Dark Ages?
Well, I mean, the Victorians were freaks.
I'm talking about the chastity belted people.
I've seen those, and they're mostly worn on women. But my biggest question, okay, the whole idea was so they didn't have sex.
Hmm.
So they would lock them up and they would never come out of those things.
Yeah.
How do you sleep in metal?
You probably don't. You also probably don't go to the bathroom and you die an early death. But there were male chastity belts too. They were
I
ones
figured
that
there were, but
really
I've seen female dress belts and it's like it cover the boobs and they're not
yeah.
gonna say it, but but it was just like,
Uh,
yeah,
a term that's been used lately around me is survival burger. Don't ask why.
how could it be a? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna hope it doesn't get answered. How can it be a burger when there's no meat involved in the situation?
There's definitely meat involved in the situation.
Oh Lord!
Speaking of which, someone did give me their survival burger tonight.
They're watching it. You already got her pregnant.
That's not the same person. It was in a video game before you get all.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was about to ask was, you are you like Chester, like his wife, or like they're open to the whole sexual thing? And I was like,
I'm not gonna get into details, but
no, don't say. I'm just saying it's like good for you. I don't know how I feel about that personally.
I don't like Chester's free sex version, but yeah, like I said, something more conservative. Let's just put it that way.
I bet you said it happened in the video game. So I'm actually more curious, like, what video game did you play?
Stardew Valley. I've actually been sharing a bed with two other people in that game, so I didn't just get a survival burger. I've been having lots of activities.
Good on you. I think. I mean, if you're talking about having, if you're talking about having, like, I've already had Haley's. Like, actually, no, I haven't actually, because I don't have kids yet. So
you know, Father Crazy and Leonzo, right?
I heard, like, I know they're like in the game on a farm together.
Yeah, we all share the main house. It wasn't something I decided. I lived with it.
We're currently living with it.
Yes. Well, whoever that third viewer was, they disappeared.
Well, I mean, you talking about survival burgers.
That's better than the other word.
I knew what it meant. Like, when I first you heard it, like, I'm just saying, like, why survival burger? I can't look at hamburgers the same anymore. Like, I just can't. I look at the hamburger, I'm like, what's wrong? I don't know. I can't look at this burger anymore the same way like I used to.
I think I'm in love with it.
Oh God.
Of course, jokingly, but I mean, can you imagine if you said that to someone as a joke and they were like, I can't. That's too good. I hope you do this now. You tell me the story.
I'm gonna forget. So I hope you do it just to see what kind of reaction you would get. But like,
Okay, I will.
oh, he's gonna do it. All right, he's gonna go to a restaurant and get a hamburger, and he's like,
No, I'll just get a McDonald's like
oh
double
dear God,
cheeseburger.
oh dear, oh dear God.
It's probably a good thing that I've ruined burgers for you, since burgers ruin you.
I still eat them, but it's just gonna be one of those situations like, well, this is a thing now I have to live with. At least still goes to my tract and comes out.
This has been a really good grind session. You haven't died. You haven't used up a bunch of items.
But I just noticed that apparently on a certain camera you can still see Titus's sword It's a very weird angle to have that have that blade in it.
I know. I like how his stance is open-legged towards the camera.
I feel like there's probably less openings that way, but I really don't know much about like guards and whatnot.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to a certain degree, but then why is he facing the camera doing it? Well, you gotta see his face.
Thank you for going that direction with that.
Well, I wanted to make sure the thought was like there, but I wasn't going to be the one who said it.
Okay, looks like I probably like one more or two more of these grind like sessions in here, and then I'll be calling for the night. Oh, good lord!
Mm-hmm. I don't blame you. Like I said, I feel like you've done really well. You might have to do another one of these later in the game, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as bad as this one was.
See Titus and oh, it's a digital blur. He must have did pretty bad in Splunky. At least you missed I guess a prolific discussion. We will not go in any further detail. I hope.
Survival, but no.
I got a bad feeling that's just a term you can look up, and it's just got this picture of a hamburger next to it, and it's like it's just a caption. You will never look at hamburgers the same way again.
Yes, Digi, I am very tired.
Jesus Christ, they're just hitting Lulu like crazy. Luckily, the thing that I would need to use her on is not out in the battlefield, so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I believe those are called Arima.
I would call them Slugmen, but they're probably insulting Piccolo. I still get a kick out of that doll animation. That shouldn't be as funny as it is, but it's hilarious.
Just wait. If you ever get far enough with Lulu in any of your playthroughs where she's like doing max damage. Oh no, Digi, how did the race go? Wait, don't tell me.
He asks you and then he says, "Don't tell me."
I already feel bad. I mean,
I think Digi doesn't really care that much. I mean, he's getting practice on this, so I guess whenever he does do his like ultimate race run. Guess the elements of rails won't hurt me now.
Ooh, moth fights. That, ouch. About that.
Oh Jesus.
Oh.
Oh, they killed him.
So he has no immunity to its own element in that case. Nice.
So you said like S level 20 is what I should be good at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say roughly around there. That should put you on par, or at least close enough to on par that you'll be able to keep up with the next 4 or 5 boss battles.
I guess I could do another grind session next week. I hadn't played long enough, and it's like I should probably do this now because I'm gonna regret it later. I feel like doing it now, so I'm like, yeah, I better do it now. Just gonna do like one more, and then I'm gonna call it quits. Huh? What?
I was just gonna say this is the reason why I haven't played any major RPGs lately. Is I don't want to do the grinds. And I don't want to learn the speed runs where it's like you're on the razor's edge of death the whole time. It's like, no.
I had to sit here and comprehend that I was using Walker.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Okay. Attack you, Wolfie boy. What? Mentality must be turned off.
I spent a lot of hours grinding in this game before I moved on, so I was really used to the party structure and getting everyone experience and everything. I feel like that's the only thing that you're lacking.
They really didn't want to see me killing that wolf.
Nope. What makes you want to improve, though, Digi? I mean, is it because you want to compete and beat people, or you just want to be better than you were at the game before? Exact same time? Holy crap.
Lutas is level 20.
Nice.
Guess I can leave him out now.
That's going to be kind of hard the way the party's set up.
Yep.
Because you don't have a bunch of levels, but I mean, you can work through it. Battles will just take a little longer.
I can probably keep him in there for the wolves and then take him out, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least I got a level up to a point.
It's good. You had a good grind session, and I really enjoyed the conversations tonight.
All right. Sorry, Digi, for, I guess, ending it as soon as you get here.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna see if Blind Man's still on and just raid him. He might not be. Every night I think I've seen he probably isn't online.
I know exactly how you feel, Digi. I feel the same exact way when I do Mega Man X.
Guess speaking of that, when are you gonna get back to doing that?
I'm thinking of doing a run this week. At least one, obviously, at this point. Oh, good, he's on.
Yeah, he is live. Okay, so I can just raid him. Actually, speed of things, so we stop sharing.
Oh, I'm getting kicked out. Bye.
No, you don't have to leave. Unless you want to leave and get some sleep. I don't know what you're planning to do.
I don't know. I might try and do my daily, but offline, because I don't want people to see how bad I play.
Okay, we're now rating Blind Man, and I guess I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody and you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.
Bye. Oh. Wow, he just ended that quickly. Hey, Makalania. And now we're rating Blind Man. See you guys later.